Hi everyone, my name is Andrew Wheelock, the Project Director of the Islands of Enlightenment Virtual World Learning Experiences. I'm a technology integrator at the Western New York Regional Information Center, and I'm part of the communications team here at the Virtual Worlds Educational Consortium. Welcome to the first episode of Maps, Mesh, and Meaning. This series of videos will showcase educators who are using virtual worlds to enhance learning for the students they teach. The first two teachers I will introduce you to are Amanda Thompson and Jay Menzie from Cleve Hill Middle School in Western New York. Jay and Amanda will discuss the project they have been developing that helps students learn about the Holocaust, and more specifically, the life of Anne Frank. These two teachers will showcase how they use an open sim environment to create a powerful learning experience for their students. Let me first give you a little background about this project. The Islands of Enlightenment projects began roughly in 2012 with the support from the leadership team at the WNYRIC and a grant from the New York State Department of Education. With the help of local teachers, we created 3 virtual world projects. One, the Understanding the Holocaust project, the Heir of the King, which is a medieval role play, and the Learning by Design project that gave students the opportunity to learn by building about art and architecture. OpenSim is a freely available open source virtual world program that can be downloaded on a server and then given access to students through avatars. Students can interact, chat, and create within the virtual world. The challenge for teachers is often in the learning curve. Time and patience to learn a new skill are often barriers for teachers with tight schedules and busy lives. So taking on this project takes a special commitment. Enter Jay and Amanda. They decided to create a new spin to the Diary of Anne Frank project that was, yes, bold, but truly innovative and produced amazing results. Here's the story of their success.
Hi, this is Amanda Thompson. I teach 7th grade ELA.
This is Jay Menzie. I teach 7th grade social studies.
And we're going to tell you about our Anne Frank virtual environment project, where we created a scavenger hunt so that students can learn more about the people in the Diary of Anne Frank.
So the first thing that we created, this is the welcome area. It's kind of the central location that we have students start out at. We have the people that were in the annex on the wall here. This is where kids will start out. They'll get their assignments from these boxes just by clicking on them. The assignments pop up, and we created these assignments specifically so students would have to stay in the world to do them. We didn't want them to go outside and Google or use anything. So everything that they're discovering is right in the virtual environment.
And each assignment is also tied to the English, Language Arts, and Social Studies standards. They vary for each assignment, but kind of continue along with the same structure for the assignment. So for each, for example, writing assignment number 1, summarize Otto Frank's biographical information. That's going to be the same for each of the characters so that students could kind of get a sense of who that person was before they dove into the more complex elements of each of their lives.
Right. And so for the second assignment, this is where we wanted them to be able to use some sort of skill that would require them to be in the world. So this program allows them to take a selfie at a certain location. So we had them do that. Some of the assignments, we had them create something in world and take a picture next to it. So there was a lot of building involved. There was also just a lot of exploring the world to complete the assignments.
Right, so once you click on the assignment or on the person, you get the assignment, and then from here we're going to go to the wall, and on the wall outside is where students will get the first card that will tell them about the person. Okay, so we're going to go out into Amsterdam, and this will give us the first slide that will help students to complete assignment number 1. So we're out into Amsterdam, and students know that they have to be in period dress when they're in world. There is the option to switch it, and when they're in the sandbox building, which they love to do, They can be in different dress. However, when they're in Amsterdam and in the annex, they have to be in appropriate clothing. So once you get to the welcome wall, this will give them the first slide that will help them to complete each first assignment.
So we're completing the assignment for Otto Frank. So we're just going to click here. And my inventory.
This isn't just helpful.
Not for me. Okay, so the first piece of information is all that demographic info that we wanted them to record on assignment number 1. So they're just taking all of this info and they're putting it in here just to learn some more things about Otto's life.
Right, so they're going to take all of the different things and then synthesize that to write 3 sentences about that person. And then we give the clue for the next location. So this is what they're going to look for in the next location, that he was a lieutenant in the German army. And then to do the teleport, they're going to go to the bench dedicated to Otto Frank, which is right behind them.
Okay.
So once we walk over here, and you're going to right click to teleport.
Okay.
Okay, so
we made it to our next location and we are looking for something related to the fact that Otto was a lieutenant in World War I. So our students will be exploring the room.
And each of the locations.
So in each location, students will be looking for the clue, which will give them the next piece of information that they need. So this is the second slide, and this one really talks about the early life of one of the characters in the annex. On the assignment, students will take this. They will complete, take a selfie at the table. They're going to write a letter home to relatives in Germany from the point of view of Otto. So taking this information, using it to complete this part of the assignment. And then again, this has the clue for the next location. And in order to teleport to that location, they're going to go to the standing globe.
In assignment 2, again, is the same for each of the characters in that it talks about their early life before they get to the annex. So now we're going to turn around and find the globe. And we'll teleport out to the next location. We'll be looking for something to celebrate the marriage of Edith and Otto.
Right.
So kids, students will look around and find the image from their wedding day. When they click on that, they'll pull up the next card.
There we go.
So assignment number 3 for each character gives more about their life. And this one was pretty similar, again, across the board, in that, I don't know.
So basically, we wanted them to find evidence. So in ELA and both social studies, in both classes, finding evidence to support a claim is a pretty big deal. So I wanted them to find information in here that support the idea that Otto Frank was a resilient man. So they would put their answer here in the space here, and then again they're using the next clue, a convenient way to get around Amsterdam. The teleport is to go to the picture of Anne and Margot.
So they'll look at that picture, right click to teleport, and then that will take them to the next location. And for each character, we wanted to vary the rooms that they were going to go to. So we wanted to take out, each character will take you to different places. So they're not going to end up in the same room for each character. So Otto, we come outside for his last one, over to the bikes, a convenient way to get around Amsterdam. No other character is going to end up out here. And in this way, they're able to explore the annex in a really structured way, going from room to room, looking for specific things. And it's not just a free-for-all.
Okay, so the last assignment deals with post-annex life for the characters. So describing what happens to Otto. Again, we're working on those skills where students are able to summarize their experience. They're taking out the details that they feel are the most important.
And in ELA, we were working on transition words throughout the year. So I give them the transition words to use, see how they put that together, really checking on their writing skills, their fluency in writing. That's what was so great about us being able to create these assignments, is that we can tailor them to the things we were working on specifically in our own classes. The freedom that was given to us was, I think, so integral to the success of our students, and that we could make it what we wanted to make it. Once we learned the program, which took a little bit of time, we were able to really tailor it to our needs.
Right. And designed things that we thought were important to telling the story of the lives of these people that were in the annex.
And it was nice too, because things that we focused on in class that Jay focused on in social studies when they read the play, we could make sure that those items ended up in the annex.
Right. So once students complete the assignment, they will teleport to the office space that we've created. So I just go to my map here.
And we each have our own office so that students can turn in work for each of our classes. So we keep it pretty separate.
So this is the office for social studies, and we did 3 of the characters. Students would just click on, so let's say we're doing the assignment for Fritz, and they're in period 2. They would just click, and then they could drop the assignment right inside this this box. I can show you an example of an assignment here.
And that's how easy it is to get student assignments too.
Right.
So it's not like you have to do a lot of labor in order to get the assignments, and it's very easy and intuitive once you're in it.
Right. So student did, all of the assignments for Fritz. This is what we were talking about with, they had to make a snapshot next to something that they built in World showing, an object that represents Fritz's occupation prior to being in the annex, and he was a dentist. So this student created, a tooth, took a selfie next to the image, and just dropped it right into their assignment.
And what's so nice too about being in the annex and being in period dress is that students were able to create avatars that reflect how they look. So Afshin wore the headscarf, and you can see in her selfie that's part of her avatar, so that students don't feel disconnected from the avatar in the annex. It really is a reflection of them. Right.
And we gave students some freedom to edit their avatar, even if they finished assignments early, within reason. Of course, we wanted it to be realistic. And
okay, so we'll walk out of Mr. Munsey's office and see where students turn in my work, which is right next door. We kept it pretty simple. Andy was able to give us both offices, so students would just come out, walk next door, and I have some pictures of the class over here, which is nice. It was homey. And then each box has the period number. The images match the images from the Welcome Center. So it's very easy for students to tell where they're turning their assignments in. So I did 4 assignments. I did Otto, Peter, Mrs. Van Pels, and Edith Frank. And then I had an extra credit assignment that students could find on the desk. So from here, you want to walk out to the sandbox?
Sure.
So this is where students were able to come and build and play in building. So you'll see just a lot of like pre-made shapes and things like that when they were really kind of figuring out how to do things. We'll see some tennis balls that remind you of Margot, because Margot, one of the slides says that she enjoyed playing tennis. So I think that was an image that a lot of students used. And then you'll see some other things where students were building for their final social studies project that they ended up, then they made a copy and put it into the museum.
Right. So building was a skill that we really had to go over and teach them how to do. It wasn't real complicated, but that some students really took it and ran with it and built some things that were really intricate. There's some examples over this way.
And as teachers who are not gamers, we had to learn this ourselves. And it didn't take too long to learn. Once you got going with it, it was pretty easy to run with it. So we had just like with our students, we had varying levels of success and varying levels of enthusiasm for the building. Students who loved Minecraft and loved gaming, I mean, look at this tank. Somebody who's not super into it is not going to be able to build that or not going to want to build that. Versus when you go to the right, there's just the picture of the tank. That might be somebody who is not super into the building. So varying levels of engagement and success with the building, but students really did an incredible job.
Yep. And, the building was one aspect of doing the museum assignment. They also had to do some research about the item or event that they chose related to World War II. And then they had to include a note card explaining what it was and describing, how it was important to World War II, how it changed the outcome of the war, what it meant. So that was a major part. And I can show you some examples of items in the museum. So going back to my map, we landmarked it. The landmarks came in really handy because we were able to get to different places within World. So once we got there, we created a landmark. The students just go in there. They click on whatever they need, Cleve Hill Museum space, teleport. So this is the space that Andy dedicated for our projects. Students were able to, just directly bring their projects in here. And some examples about some other student projects. What I really liked about this was that our students, as the exhibit started to show up in the museum, they were able to share their work, and students were able to walk around and see what other students had done, what they created. They learned a lot about whatever topic that other students had chosen to focus on. So on this one, they made a slides presentation. So when you click on it, it actually goes through the various slides. Others that created objects, let me see if I can find one. When you click on it, here's the note card. This is a German U-boat, and it shows where they got their information. It describes what it is, how it was used. So this is a major portion of the museum project, was researching this item, and then of course building something that represents it.
Keeping students in World, I think, had a large it was a large part of keeping them engaged, because they knew that they needed to stay there, but also it wasn't like we had to keep them there. They wanted to be there.
Right, and I think that speaks to the generation, and gaming is huge for middle school students, and so they got to experience gaming, but also I don't even know if they realize they're doing some pretty intense work. They're having to go through everything, but it was fun. I mean, I think that's the bottom line. It was really, really fun for them to be in World. I think the first day that we did this, I let them play.
Yeah.
I let them kind of explore, and we didn't have any assignments. We just learned how to use the tools that are in World and navigate and look around, walk, run, turn. So
right, and some of them, because they game, pick it up way faster.
Right.
And it's, you can kind of have some fun with it, because I am not a gamer.
Well,
Shocking.
They are much better than we are. So
and so I would try to show them how to go in a room or something, and I'd end up walking up the stairs and trying to get up the stairs for like 2 minutes until I got frustrated and teleported, so we could have those kind of fun moments where they were an expert at something much more so than I was, and they could kind of teach me and walk me through it. And that gave them, I think, some important power and ownership of the assignments of what we were asking them to do, because they felt like an expert at it walking in, a lot of them.